Baltimore Ravens flock, what is going on? We are back here with another episode of Quiet Storm Sports on the Purple Rain Podcast YouTube channel. I'm your host, Sutton Duff, and today we've got a lot of things to get into. The national media is still disrespecting Lamar Jackson. He's barely even a top 5 quarterback. Like, what are we talking about, right? Also, Calais Campbell's contract is signed and has dry ink now. We're going to talk about the implications of that. And then we're also going to get into some things about who I think is going to be the next breakout franchise player for this Ravens team. This and so much more on this episode of Quiet Storm Sports. Yes, sir. We are back with another episode of QSS on PRP. Again, I am your host, Sutton Deff, and welcome in, welcome one, and welcome all to another episode of Quiet Storm Sports here on the Purple Rain Podcast YouTube channel. Listen, guys, before we get into anything, because we've got a lot of stuff to get into on this episode of the show, make sure you kick back, relax, get your favorite drink, your favorite snack, whatever. We got some stuff to get into. But before we do, be sure to leave a thumbs up on this video. Yes, sir. That means leave a like on this video. Yes, sir, or ma'am, whoever's watching this right now, please caress that like button for us. Whatever the like counter is at right now, give us one more. We'd appreciate that. But yeah, welcome in and welcome all. Shout out to the replay gang. Replay gang, I know you guys are in the house right now. That means if you're not watching the live, you're watching after the fact. You know, all love to you guys. Special place in my heart for the replay gang. Please be sure to comment down below any comments, questions, concerns you have about this episode of Quiet Storm Sports. Got to give a quick shout out to the live chat. Christian in the house. What's going on, Christian? Jared is in the house. Kwame is in the house. Glaucoma is in the house. No Luck ISO is in the house. Nation World is in the house. What up? Nikes. Ian Campbell, Isaac. I mean, you guys are going crazy. Neuro is in the chat. What up? I got my guy RJ says, graduating college today. Appreciate y'all for keeping me up while I do my homework. LOL, hashtag replay gang. First of all, RJ, huge shout out to you. Congratulations for graduating, man. I mean, that's absolutely huge, man. I follow you on Instagram, so I'm sure I'll see the picture soon. But again, shout out to you, man. You deserve it. You are destined for very great things. Let's clap it up. Clap it up for RJ real quick. Let's clap it up for RJ. Congratulations, brother. All right. So we got to go ahead and we got to get into the nitty gritty. All right. We got to get into the nitty gritty of this episode. What I want to start with is this, right? I want to start with the fact that the national media still finds ways to discredit Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson. What you're looking at right now on screen, and for everybody who is listening over audio right now, I will explain it to you. But what you're looking at is a top 10 AFC quarterbacks list, courtesy of none other than Colin Cowherd of Fox Sports 1. Now, let me preface what I'm about to say with this. And some of you guys might know this about me. I'm actually a fan of Colin Cowherd. A lot of you guys are like, oh, Sutton, how could you be a fan of Colin? He knows nothing. He's a take artist. I like his style. I do. I have for years. Sorry. Do I agree with all of his takes? Absolutely not. But I like his style, you know? So I watch him. And I was watching yesterday, and I saw him talk about his top AFC quarterbacks. And again, what you're looking at is only AFC quarterbacks, exclusively AFC quarterbacks. And he has his list as following. Number 1, Josh Allen. That's right. Number 1, folks. He's got Josh Allen. Number 2, Patrick Mahomes. Number 3, Joe Burrow. Number 4, it's got to be Lamar here, right? No, Justin freaking Herbert. And then number 5 is Lamar Jackson. Now, before I even move on with numbers 6 through 10, which feel irrelevant to me, to be honest with you, but I will get to them. I really have to question whether or not this take by my guy, Colin Cowherd, is one of is it a genuine take, or is it a take that, or is it a May take, right? Like the month of May where you need to kind of like spark some controversy, something like that. So hey, let's just call Justin Herbert better than Lamar Jackson. Because people like Sutton Def on the Purple Rain podcast will talk about it if we say that Lamar Jackson is not better than Justin Herbert. That's what's going on here. That's what I think is going on here. Because there's no way in hell, and I got smoke for the other quarterbacks above Lamar too. I got smoke for every other quarterback above Lamar Jackson, not named Patrick Mahomes. But Justin Herbert, that one strikes a nerve. Because there's one thing you say, oh, Joe Burrow, you just like him better than cool. Josh Allen, he's got an MVP, you just like him better than cool. But Justin Herbert, you're talking about a guy who has 6 years in the game, that is the NFL, and still has 0 playoff wins. Not to mention, he's ass in the playoff games that he's played in. He's ass. So, where do we get off, Mr. Cowherd? And I wish I could talk to him about this to really get his take on it, because I'm sure he would probably tell me behind closed doors, listen, dude, it's mid-May. We got to find something to talk about. We got to get the people going with something. It's provocative. It gets the people going. That's pretty much what it is. It's got me going. And I'll say this. If Lamar Jackson had no playoff wins 6 years into his career, they would have had Lamar Jackson shot by now. They'd have taken him out. He'd have been assassinated. Because who is this guy who comes into our league thinking he's all good and can't win a playoff game? And he's not a traditional quarterback. So no, get him out of here. He would be casted aside. He wouldn't even be top 10. And you guys can see, this is my tweet right here. I tweeted this earlier today. And I responded to it by saying if Lamar had no playoff wins in 6 years, he would not even be considered to be a top 10 quarterback in this league. And you would have every reason to agree with that. Because at the end of the day, this game is not about, the skills that you put on tape and, how well you do in the regular season and stuff like that, which is where, again, some of the other guys that are ahead of Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, been to a Super Bowl. Josh Allen been to a couple conference championship games and things like that. Cool. You want to put them above Lamar because of where they've been and how many times they've done it? Sure. But Justin Herbert, a guy who, again, has not had any playoff wins. And oh, by the way, is not better than Lamar Jackson in any way, shape, or form. You can debate your mother on that one. I really don't care. Because he's not better than him at all. Like, what are we talking, like, at all? Is he a better thrower than Lamar Jackson? Show me. I mean, maybe. But it's not like a night and day thing at all. And I'd argue Lamar Jackson is one of the best throwers in the league. So I can't even say that definitively Justin Herbert is a better thrower of the football than Lamar Jackson. Because everything that I've seen shows me that Lamar can throw it with the best of them. And, oh, are you going to tell me that Justin Herbert is more mobile than Lamar Jackson, we don't even have to talk about that. So please, again, tell me, Mr. Coward, where is Justin Herbert better than Lamar? Is he a more mobile quarterback? No. Is he a better thrower? You can debate it, right? You can debate it. Sure. But you can't sit here and tell me that he's so much of a better thrower than Lamar Jackson that the 0 playoff wins don't matter. The lack of mobility compared to Lamar Jackson doesn't matter. He's that much better of a thrower than Lamar Jackson that we have to put him above. We have to rank him above. Blasphemous. Preposterous. Preposterous. It's a diabolical take. And irresponsible. Deplorable. Churlish. Unruly. To say things like this. Lamar Jackson would never be able to get away with the things that Justin Herbert has gotten away with. He has never won a playoff game. And oh, by the way, the guy who's ranked number 8 on this list, Trevor Lawrence, walked him down in a playoff game where his team was up, 2-3 possessions? You guys remember that game a couple years ago? Wild card matchup? Jags versus Chargers? You guys remember that, right? But let's move on, though. Tanja says, hey, y'all, I'm driving home and listening to this foolishness. That's how they do my boy Lamar. He is the face of the league. You're absolutely right about that, Tanja. He is the face of the league. Please be safe driving home. Now we move on. We move on to who else is above Lamar Jackson here, too. Because like I said, anybody not named Patrick Mahomes on this list, if they're rated above Lamar Jackson, I got smoke for you. So let's move on. Joe Burrow. The thing about Joe Burrow, and I love me some Joe Burrow. Don't get me wrong. I've been saying this on this podcast for years. I think he is an ace of a quarterback. He's wonderful. Love him. However, the main criticism levied against none other than Lamar Demetrius Jackson was that he would not last in this NFL because he would be hurt. He would stay on the bench because he's hurt. He's injured. Because his style of play is not sustainable. He's going to get hurt. He's not going to be available. You know what they say? The best ability is what? Availability. Yet, Joe Burrow is hurt way more often than Lamar Jackson. Way more often than Lamar Jackson. 8 years later into Lamar Jackson's career, but nobody talks about that. You can still list Joe Burrow above Lamar Jackson. Why again? Why? What has Joe Burrow done that would warrant him being better than a 2-time, should be 3-time MVP? And I got smoke for the other guy too. But what has Joe Burrow done other than go to one Super Bowl and lose it to be considered better than Lamar Jackson? And oh, by the way, let's look at Joe Burrow's career record in head-to-head matchups against Lamar Jackson. It ain't very good. In fact, it's very bad. In fact, Lamar Jackson owns Joe Burrow and the Bengals. Owns them. And we want to talk about owning. When was the last time? Excuse me, wait a minute. When was the last time Justin Herbert and the Chargers beat Lamar Jackson and the Ravens? I'll wait. Because I can't remember a time. I don't recall. Do you? Let me know. If I'm wrong, somebody let me know in the chat. I don't think I'm wrong on that. I don't think that Lamar Jackson has ever lost to the Chargers led by Justin Herbert. Now, Lamar Jackson has lost to the Cincinnati Bengals led by Joe Burrow, but not that often. Lamar Jackson has a fabulous record against the Burrow-led Bengals. A fabulous one. So those two guys being ranked above Lamar Jackson, I don't get it. It's whatever. You know, whatever. Let me see. Chef Spicy says, how does your team miss the playoffs 3 years in a row and be considered top three? Again, these are mid-May takes, y'all. But I'm calling it out. I'm calling that shit out, man. I'm not gonna let this shit go by the wayside and let people talk about um our quarterback, our team without context provided. I won't let it go unchecked. I'm sorry. I won't let it go unchecked. Moving on. Josh Allen, number one. First of all, what the hell are you doing up there? He really tried to sneak Josh Allen into the number one quarterback of the league spot. We see Colin Cowherd. Don't you know that we can see you? We can see you. Do you have no shame? Because what are we talking about here? Josh Allen, the guy who just a little over 100 days ago turned the football over 4 times. 4 times. Let's rewind. Josh Allen turned the football over, yes, 4 times in a playoff loss. In a playoffs that did not include the number 2 guy on this list, the number 3 guy on this list, and the number 5 guy on this list. And they didn't even have to play the Chargers. They didn't even have to play Herbert and the Chargers, right? They got taken care of by New England last year. So again, I ask you, how can you ever consider Josh Allen, who has 1 MVP to Lamar Jackson's 2, which should be 3 when Lamar Jackson threw for 41 touchdowns and 4 interceptions, but they gave it to Josh Allen, so it really should be 3-0 in MVPs when it comes to Lamar and Allen. It really should be 3-0. But they gave, in the famous words of Tony Romo, it's Josh Allen's turn. It was his turn to win the MVP. But nonetheless, still has less than Lamar, right? You know what I mean? Still has less than Lamar. 2-1. Let's just call a spade a spade. It is what it is. He's got the MVP trophy. Josh Allen does. So it's 2-1. And this guy, again, in a playoffs last year that did not have any of the top quarterbacks in the AFC, which basically means Lamar, Burrow, Mahomes. None of those guys were there. And as the elder statesman quarterback in those playoffs, you got bounced out in the second round. And the Jags, don't get me wrong, the Jags gave y'all a run for your money too in the wild card. Don't forget. But yes, Josh Allen turned the football over 4 times against the Broncos in the divisional round. And he actually fumbled 3 times. He just recovered one of them. So it had the potential to be 5 turnovers. How quickly we forget. But yet, he's number 1 in the league. Top AFC quarterback. Top AFC quarterback. This is like saying, here's the thing about Colin Cowherd. He would have never, after the 2023 AFC Championship game, where Lamar Jackson had 3 turnovers in that game and the Ravens lost to the Chiefs, he would have never, 4 months later, ranked Lamar Jackson as the best quarterback in the league. In fact, Lamar might not, he might not even, he was probably not even going to be top 5 if that had happened that way. So again, I got smoke for everybody. Patrick Mahomes, I'm cool with Patrick Mahomes being number 1. He needs to be number 1. Because again, you're talking about 3 Super Bowls, been to 5 of them. 3 Super Bowl wins, but you've been to 5 of them. When nobody else in this top 5 has 1 Super Bowl ring. As a matter of fact, everybody else in the top 5 has a combined 1 Super Bowl appearance. And that came from Joe Burrow. So again, Colin Cowherd, I ask you, is this a genuine list or is it just a mid-May hot take. Because either way, I'll be fine. And I get it. Your producers probably tell you, hey, listen, man, it's May. It's May 8th. Like, draft is over, right? Free agency is largely over. No big names being moved around anymore. You know, all we have now is schedule release, and then there's going to be training camp and things like that in a couple of months. We got to stir some shit up some way, somehow. That's basically what happened here. But it's cool. It's cool though. I get it. I'm a content guy myself. I know what it takes. But you won't fool me, Colin Coward. But what I will say again, like I said right here in this tweet, Justin Herbert has the greatest, and I mean the greatest, public relations team of all time. Of all time. Because there's just no way in hell that you're 6 years into your career and you still have 0 playoff wins, but you're considered a top 5 quarterback. That doesn't happen. Where do they even do that at? When has that ever happened? It doesn't. It doesn't. Man, that annoyed me. I'll leave it alone, though. Again, this is Quiet Storm Sports. Please be sure to like the video. If you are new here, please consider subscribing as well. We would appreciate that. We're going to go ahead and move on here to our next topic of the evening. Now, what I wanted to get into next here is something that me and Alex talked about a little bit last night on the Purple Rain podcast, the main pod. But it is the signing of Calais Campbell, right? So you guys can see here, Calais Campbell officially signed his contract with the Ravens to return to the Ravens. He's signing a 1-year, $5.5 million deal that has a max value of $6 million. So that $500,000 in incentives are categorized as likely to be earned and will count on the 26 cap. His 2026 cap number is $6 million. It's actually not bad. There are no void years in the deal. With all signings accounted for, the Ravens are at $17,742,081 under the cap. And this is per Brian McFarland, Ravens salary cap, probably the most trusted guy in the Ravens space when you want to know about whatever's going on in the with the salary cap when it comes to our Baltimore Ravens. So shout out to him. But yeah, Calais Campbell signed for a deal that I view as team friendly, especially considering that the Ravens still have $17.7 million to spend in cap space before the season starts. As you guys know, they'll normally save some money and things like that for in-season acquisitions and stuff. But like me and Alex talked about yesterday, I really do believe that the Ravens are not done yet, and they will be signing more players, maybe about 1 or 2 players tops, right, before the season starts. Brian McFarland, he carries on here saying that factoring in the eventual signing of Zion Young, because, he hasn't signed yet, second-round picks, it's hard to get those guys signed because they're trying to get closer to the type of money and guaranteed deals that the first-round picks are getting. They feel like they're right there with them. So he still has not signed yet. He's the last Raven to sign, the last rookie Raven to sign. But again, Brian McFarland says here, factoring in the eventual signing of Zion Young and projected future expenses, the Ravens' effective cap space is now down to about $3 million. Still believe an adjustment will be made to Humphrey's deal, and once healthy, Broderick Washington is a potential cut to create additional cap space. All right. So, yeah, man, it's looking at his chart, looking at his thing here. He's saying cap space after signing 11 draft picks about 16.7 million, and then projected future expenses here, which is an interesting one for me. Look at all these bills the Ravens are playing. In the Rule of 51, adding players to the 52 and 53 minimum roster, 1.7 million. Practice squad estimations, $4.7 million to play or to pay the guys on the practice squad. Weekly practice squad standard elevations, $1.2 million. Preseason and in-season injury replacement fund, $6 million. So it's looking like the Ravens actually don't have a whole bunch of money to spend right now, considering the future bills, right, that are coming up. It's like when you get paid, right, and you feel like you got a bunch of money, like a bunch of discretionary income to go spend on BS and whatnot, but you got bills coming up in like the next 7 to 10 days or whatever, right? You got to save that money. You got to hold on to that money. So maybe that does kind of change the math a little bit. Well, it definitely changes the math, but maybe that does change the plan for the rest of this offseason for the Ravens. Who knows? Because there are like we're reading here, there are more expenses here to come, and the projected effective usable salary cap space is going to be about $3 million. So what can you do with that? Right? What can you do with that? I mean, can you get D Hop back in at the very least? Probably. Right? Jadeveon Clowney. I talked about either D Hop, Jadeveon Clowney, or Graham Glasgow, the center from Detroit. One of those guys. I mean, we got to take a swing on somebody. Got to take a swing on somebody. I mean, that's just kind of what it is. I mean, we have those holes in it. If I had to take a pick, right? If we could only get one, I got to go with the center. I got to go with the center. And have that center who, if it's Graham Glasgow or Ethan Pochich or whoever it is that we bring in, have him compete, right, with the likes of Corey Bullock and Javon Gwynn, who is Dwayne Ledford's guy from Atlanta, and then also Nick Dawkins, the UDFA out of Penn State, who played with Vega Ioane. Make those guys compete. Right, have those guys. Every one of those guys has kind of like their claim to being that starting center. Right, think about it. Like Corey Bullock, he's been on this team. You know, like it's kind of like his rightful throne to take that up if he can win the job. He's been here. You would have a Graham Glasgow or an Ethan Pochich, whoever that would look like if they brought in. Okay, this is a guy who we brought in to do the job, so he has a claim to the throne. Javon Gwynn is a guy who worked with the offensive line coach, Dwayne Ledford, in Atlanta. So he has a claim to the job. He has some favor in that way. Nick Dawkins is a guy who was side by side with their 14th overall pick, Vega Ioane, at Penn State. So he has a claim to play the center position as well. What I'm saying here, guys, is that, you know, we should bring in the most amount of options as possible and just have those guys battle it out to see who comes out on top. That's what I think. But it's interesting because all those guys have kind of like a claim to getting there. Shout out to everybody watching live right now. Over 100 people watching live. Again, this is Quiet Storm Sports on the Purple Rain Podcast YouTube channel. Shout out to everybody watching on YouTube. Shout out to everybody watching on X as well. If you are watching on YouTube, please be sure to like this video. Please leave a thumbs up. Let's take a second for us to do that here. All right. Thank you for liking the video. We appreciate the support here at PRP. If you're watching on X, please be sure to give me a follow right here at Sutton Def on X. But yeah, cap implications from this Calais Campbell move. I didn't see it this way. If the Ravens are really only going to have about $3 million to effectively spend, right, to use, then yeah, maybe they need to look at things a little bit closer, and they're not going to be able to sign multiple guys. We'll see. But moving on here. I want to get into something about a player that I think is going to be the next franchise player for this Ravens team. And that player is none other than Ravens' recent, was it 5th or 6th round draft pick, Adam Randall. That's who it's going to be for me. Adam Randall is a running back out of Clemson who literally in his first year playing running back for Clemson, first year, he had 168 carries for 813 yards and 10 touchdowns. But that's not it. He also added 36 catches for 254 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns, totaling 1,281 all-purpose yards for the season. And you want to know what the best part about Adam Randall is, ladies and gentlemen, and why I think he's going to be the next franchise player for this team? There's a couple things. Number one, in his first year as a running back, his first year learning what a freaking jump cut is. he ran for 10 touchdowns and caught another 3. So you want to talk about an ascending talent. You want to talk about a guy who has the potential. And I get it. It's May. May is the month where we fall in love with potential. I get it because football's a while away, but this guy has all of the traits that you would want in a running back. And not only just a running back, but a next generation running back. Because the running backs of yesteryear, your guys who you halfback dives, you're going to run it up the gut. They're going to run between the tackles. They're hard nosed, gritty, cool, right? Can't really catch out of the backfield, things like that, but they can get you three, maybe 4 yards of carry, that sort of thing. Great type of running back. That's basically like Gus Edwards, you know. But a running back who is dynamic, like an Adam Randall, who is going to be able to run between the tackles, who is going to be able to run outside zone and get out on the edge, who is going to be able to catch tosses, right? Who is going to be able to, on 3rd and 7, leak out into the flat or maybe even run a route downfield and be a viable option for Lamar Jackson. You talk about value. I'll tell you this right now. If you have a dynasty league in your fantasy drafts or whatever, you need to get Adam Randall. This is a public service announcement. Draft Adam Randall while you can. Why? Because Derrick Henry's only getting older. He's only getting older. I realistically see maybe 2 more years. Maybe 2 more years of Derrick Henry and this Ravens team, having some success together before it's time to let things go. And with the way that the Ravens run the ball, they're a run-first team. Even with Jesse Minter and Declan Doyle, I still feel like the Ravens will be a run-dominant team because you have some of the best rushing threats in the league in Lamar and Derrick Henry. Why would you not make them the focal point of your offense, right? But somebody's going to have to take the reins for Derrick Henry once he steps down. And I think that in garbage time, a lot this upcoming season, you're going to see Adam Randall really pop off. Break off some big runs, maybe some touchdowns here and there. And they're going to be forced to give him more touches. They're going to be forced to draw up plays for Adam Randall. And I'm telling you, this guy is going to be the next franchise player. And oh, by the way, he's learning behind a Hall of Fame running back who is of a similar physique to him. Derrick Henry's only maybe a half inch taller than Adam Randall. Maybe 15 pounds heavier than Adam Randall. Once Adam Randall learns from Derrick Henry what to do with his body, right? And then also teaches him skill and technique and things like that and how to play the position at the pro level. Come on, man. It's over with. It's over with. I'm telling you, if you got dynasty fantasy leagues, draft Adam Randall. Might not pay off this year. Hell, might not pay off next year. But I think that the Ravens have them something with this kid, Adam Randall. He is scary good. Scary good. And if you haven't seen him play, go look it up. Right? He runs with the tenacity of a running back. Right? But he has kind of like the, how do I say? When he gets to that second level, you can tell he used to be a wide receiver. I think you guys get my point. He has no problems running between the tackles, but when he gets to that second level, he can fly as well. He's scary good. Real quick, here is Dabo Sweeney talking about Adam Randall.
Guy that I guess he hired to do diligence on a bunch of people. And so after I got through talking, he said, well, I want to let you know something. And he said, I got this SEAL Team 6 guy. And he said, out of 275 people, he had Adam Randall ranked 3rd when it came to mental makeup, character, et cetera, et cetera. And I went, really? And I was like, well, if I'm you, I want to know who 1 and 2 is. That was kind of my, I'm like, who the heck is 1 and 2? That was kind of my answer. And he laughed at that. He had a SEAL Team 6 guy
So you heard there that they were looking at Adam Randall as a guy who, he's got all the traits. He's got the mental makeup, right? He's got the athleticism, everything. So the reason why I think that Adam Randall is going to be around for a while, like around for long enough to where when Derrick Henry, either retires or he's no longer a Raven, um, Adam Randall will be able to step up because we hear these type of things like he's a joy to his teammates. He's a joy in the locker room. He's a joy to coaches. He's a guy who guys want to be around, and he's got all the other mental characteristics as well. He works hard as hell, works his ass off. I just don't see a world where, especially if this guy shows flashes, even just flashes, right? Where the Ravens won't hold on and stash him until it's time to fully make the switch to running back one for Adam Randall. Again, Derrick Henry's still here. He's still got some, I personally think Derrick Henry still has a lot of tread left on those tires, but we will see. That is, yet to be seen. Eventually here, he's going to have to slow down. I thought last year he was kind of slowing down a little bit, but I think more of that could have been attributed to the offensive line not getting this the same push that they were getting in years prior. Here's another video, Ryan Ripken talking to Adam Randall.
It kind of, it took me a day just to realize like what the situation that I was going into and how blessed I am. I think that I'm just gonna be a sponge and a fly on the wall and soak up all those things from those greats. I mean, Derrick Henry is a walk-in Hall of Famer right now. So if I can try to acquire even half of the things that he does, I think I'll have a successful career. And Lamar, he he's probably one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, also on the planet. And just just learning from him. And you want to talk about a guy being shifty and fast? That's the guy. And I just going to enjoy being able to go out there and work with him.
Yeah, I think one of those games actually is with your alma mater now, Louisville Clemson. Mm-hmm. That when Lamar was playing for Louisville, that was
that was a game.
That was a game.
Yeah. Shout out to Ryan Ripken, by the way, doing a great job in the media space, in Baltimore media space. But yeah, Adam Randall, man, he just seems like the type of guy who is going to last long on this team. And like I said the other day, I think I was talking to my guy Keeping It Real about this. Like the guys who the Ravens brought in this draft class, they are literally like the babies of Jesse Minter. Like first year as a head coach, right? This is my draft class. These are guys who I want to be right about. I want to be right about advocating for these guys in the war room. These guys are going to get the nod. They're going to get the benefit of the doubt. At least most of them will. Not all of them will make the team. But guys like Adam Randall, you really think he's not making the team? Right? He's going to make the team. He's going to play on Sundays. And if he can even show flashes again of what he was showing at Clemson, then I think he's going to be around for a very, very long time. Period. I do. Let me see what you guys are saying here in the chat. Be sure to like the video, comment down below if you're part of the replay gang. Let me know what you're thinking about Adam Randall. Do you think that he can be the next franchise player? Because I do. Again, run first team, aging star running back. You've got like this next gen hybrid running back / wide receiver coming out of your backfield now. I'm sorry, but Keaton who? And I hate to be that guy, but Keaton who? This guy gives me way, way more promise than Keaton Mitchell was giving me. Sorry. Is what it is, though. Is what it is. Chris, what up? Happy Friday. Welcome to the weekend. Appreciate you for coming through. All right. Shout out to all of our members. We got a lot of members here in the chat tonight. Shout out to all of our members. Again, membership giveaway. Episode 410 of the Purple Rain podcast. So if you want to qualify for our next giveaway, all you got to do is join our channel membership and you automatically qualify for a chance to win. Again, probably not going to be a jersey this time. We're going to be giving away some PRP merch. So make sure you sign up for the Purple Rain podcast membership. Now, listen, let's go ahead and move on here. Let's move on. What else did I have for you guys? Okay, so schedule predictions, right? schedule predictions are officially going to be on, I believe they said next Thursday. Let me see if I can pull this up for us here. Yeah, next Thursday is when you're going to see the schedule drop for the Ravens and for the entire NFL, that is. Now, as we already know, you have the Ravens taking on the Cowboys in Brazil. And let me just double check to see, is that week 3 or 4? Ravens versus Cowboys, Brazil, week. What week is that? Week 3. Okay, so that's week 3, September 27th, 2026. Okay, got that. So, and I believe that game is going to be a designated away game. A designated away game. Yeah. So the host team is the Dallas Cowboys. So the Cowboys will technically be at home. So in terms of my schedule predictions in for what the Ravens will open the season with, knowing that they play technically on the road week 3 in Brazil, I think that the Ravens are going to open the season on the road on prime time. Because again, it makes sense. Last 3 years, the Ravens have opened the season on the road. Also in prime time. And they play on the road in week 3, which leads me to believe you're going to get a away game in week 1, a home game week 2 at the bank, and then they fly to Brazil for the week 3 matchup. Now, in terms of who that away game is going to be in week 1 of the season, let me look up again the Ravens 2026 opponents, because I feel like I just have a really strong feeling, chat. Like, I have a really, really strong feeling about who the Ravens are going to be playing week 1. And if I'm right next week, I don't know, maybe I got to do something crazy on stream, but I feel like I'm going to be right. So let's take a look at the Ravens 2026 opponents here. Like I said, I think that the Ravens are going to open up the season on the road because, again, they have a designated road game in week 3. We already know that. We already know that part of the equation. Week 2 is probably going to be at home, but week 1 is probably going to be on the road in primetime. Sutton, why is it going to be primetime week 1? Well, the Ravens have Lamar Jackson. The Ravens have a brand new head coach. It's a story unlike any other story in the past 6-7 years of the Lamar Jackson era, right? So, and of course, the NFL with these primetime games in week 1, week 1 is where the NFL, they sell their product for the rest of the season. So in those primetime slots on Sunday Night Football, on Thursday Night Football, on Monday Night Football, you want to have your best products on display. And fortunately for us Ravens fans, the Ravens are one of the best products for the NFL. Lamar Jackson is one of the NFL's best top-selling products. So yeah, they will be playing in primetime in week 1, and I think on the road. Now, looking at our away opponents here, who can we surmise that the Ravens will be facing in week 1? I don't think it'll be any of the divisional opponents. If not, I mean, if it were to be, I think the only plausible one would be Pittsburgh. The only plausible option would be Pittsburgh for the Ravens to play week 1 on the road in Pittsburgh, under the lights, maybe Sunday Night Football, something like that, because you get a storyline there. You get the storybook rivalry between those two teams. Right? You get the rematch. And you know what? The NFL loves doing this. In week 1, they love putting the Ravens up against who ended their season the previous year. Look, Bills week 1 last year, after they kicked us out the year prior in the divisional round. Chiefs week 1, the year before that, after they bounced us out in the AFC Championship game. So you know, the NFL literally has a fetish. A fetish with playing the Ravens week 1 against who just ended their season the year prior. So I could see the Steelers. No other AFC North opponent I could see. I could see the Steelers, though. Outside of that, I mean, you got Houston, you got Indy, Atlanta, Carolina, Buffalo. I mean, obviously, we're playing Dallas in Brazil, so they're out. So really all you're looking at is, again, Pittsburgh, Houston, Indy, Atlanta, Carolina, and Buffalo. Those are the options for week 1. Because again, I think it's going to be confirmed like on the road. If I had to put my money on it, I'm either going to go Pittsburgh or I'm going to go Houston. It's either going to be Pittsburgh or Houston week 1 for me, for this Ravens team. And then we'll probably play like the Browns week 2 or something like that. I think we played the Browns week 2 last year, as a matter of fact. But yeah, that's my prediction. I think the Ravens open the season on the road against either the Pittsburgh Steelers or the Houston Texans. I feel like that Bills game is going to be saved for later in the season. I do. Are we away for the Chargers? No, we're home for the Chargers. We are home for the Chargers. Yes, they will be coming to the bank. That's going to be a big storyline too, because Jesse Minter just coming from LA, Jim Harbaugh going up against his brother's former team. He's probably going to want to avenge his brother's loss and like, let me beat these Ravens. Now that they fired my little brother or big brother John Harbaugh. It's probably going to be one of those things. That's going to be a big story. Maybe that one's in prime time. Who knows? But yeah, Q the God. What up? What up, bro? Afia, what up? How you doing? Minter versus Harbaugh. It's gonna be a good one. If we play the Bills, I need to win by 40. Honestly, bro, I just want to beat the Bills in January. That's it. That's all. Like if there's anything that I want this team to be able to do, it's not even necessarily make the playoffs. It's not even necessarily, have a really, really good regular season record. It's not even necessarily winning the freaking Super Bowl. And I know that sounds crazy. I know that sounds wild to say. But I wouldn't want it any other way than for the Ravens to walk through the fire that is the Buffalo Bills. That is the Kansas City Chiefs. And there's other teams on the rise too. Broncos, Patriots. You know what I mean? Like there's other teams on the rise. Jags are still clawing and scratching, right? There's nothing I would want more than for the Ravens to at least beat one of those two teams, Bills or the Chiefs, to really kind of shake off that would really do it for me. That would do it for me. Like it would shake off like all of the past traumas and baggage from the Harbaugh years where we could not, we couldn't beat those teams. I would really, really want the Ravens to beat the Bills or the Chiefs or the Chiefs in this playoffs to really prove themselves and solidify themselves. Because there's no other way that these media narratives are going to swing our way unless we go through them. Period. That's what it is. I wouldn't want it any other way. All right. Let's move along here, kids. All right. What do we got? Boom. All right. So the next thing I want to bring up is listen, man. The Ravens were on the clock at pick 14. They were on the clock at pick 14. And they had the opportunity to draft this man. This is Rueben Bain. Rueben Bain Jr.'s first mini camp. You can notice the arm length. You can definitely tell his arm length is not, it's definitely below average. You can tell his arm length is below average, but here in these videos, it doesn't look like. It doesn't look like that's going to be a problem for him at all. Now I get it. He's in a freaking jersey and shorts, and and he's just going up against equipment and air and things like that. I get it, but like the dude looks athletic. He looks physical as hell. Look at him on the sleds right here. Like literally just like displacing them with ease. He's got crazy power. I think he's going to be a dog. He's going to be a beast. And if he ends up being a guy who, 12, 13 sacks in his first season, I got to just tip my cap. And I won't even be mad about it. Why? Because the Ravens did the right thing. You did the right thing. Here is Rueben Bain. After apparently Warren Sapp texted Rueben Bain after the draft, and he was saying, "This is my city." Warren Sapp said that to Rueben Bain. And then Rueben Bain showed up to rookie camp repping Warren Sapp's iconic number 99. And it says here Rueben Bain is going to be a problem. He's got that Sapp. Everybody's doing the back of the jersey on the front of the jersey thing, like the name and the number on the front of the jersey instead of the back now. I saw Drewski kind of pioneer that, and I've seen a couple of people since then kind of take on that same style. But here you see Rueben Bain doing that here himself, arriving in that Sapp jersey, trying to live up to the expectations, man. Look at that hairline. Look at that hairline, dog. That hairline tells me everything I need to know. Everything I need to know. 13 to 14 sacks this season. Easy. Easy. Easy money. What are we talking about here? Look at that hairline, dog. Yeah, he don't play no games. He don't play no games. But yeah, he's gonna be good. He's gonna be good. Didn't Cardi do that before Drewski, or am I wrong? I'm not sure, brother. I'm not sure. I'd have been more mad if Rueben Bain went to the Rams for sure. I mean, yeah, Rams. Listen, man, they're gearing up to be. There's a reason why they're top 3 Super Bowl favorites this year. Okay, there's a reason. They didn't have a whole lot of holes, but no, they're going to be nice this year. A problem in the NFC. Mike, one of our members, says in the chat here, Bain better be a bum and Vega an all pro. Otherwise, I will never let it go. Facts though. If 3 years from now, Vega is like no longer our starting guard and Rueben Bain is like averaging like freaking 13, 14 sacks a season or some shit like that, like, bro, I'm gonna be pretty pissed. But it's one of those things we're gonna have to chalk up and be like, hey, look, hindsight's always 2020. At the time, we thought we were doing the right thing, getting Lamar Jackson his next bodyguard, but whatever. He kind of looks like Sutton. Chris, you be playing with me. I be seeing you. Even when I don't bring it up on screen, I be seeing you. But don't worry about it. I'm gonna get you back. Sudden Reaction's coming back soon too, by the way. It's coming back soon too, by the way. All right. Enough about Rueben Bain. He's not a Raven, so who gives a damn, right? Who gives a damn? All right. So last couple things I wanted to talk about, guys, was number one. This was actually something I touched on a couple of episodes ago, but it is now official. The National Football League, their referees are officially back. Okay? They are officially back now. The referees are no longer at risk of holding out and us having replacement refs. You can see here, Ari Myrov tweets, just in, the NFL and the NFL Referees Association have agreed to a new deal to keep the current officials working, meaning there will be no replacement refs in 2026 or anytime in the near future. This is a big win for everyone, and it absolutely is. I could not be happier about this news. Again, because the last thing the Ravens need, right, with this new coaching staff and this new blood on this team, the last thing that they need is the football gods, right? Which is basically, these zebra-looking dudes getting in the way and taking wins off the board for them. And this is not to say that the referees that we currently have in the NFL are just like God's gift and they're super perfect, because they're not. They're not. You think about it. If that Ravens Steelers game, the first one, not the second one in week 18, but the first one, Ravens Steelers, if a couple of calls, bad calls, by the way, would have went the Ravens' way, we might be having a totally different conversation right now. Because guess what? The Ravens probably would have made the playoffs. And John Harbaugh might not have ever gotten fired, right? Because of those calls that were made. But nonetheless, I'm happy that, we're getting at least what we're used to. At least what we're used to when it comes to these referees, when it comes to these officials, right? The last thing I would want is some guy who, coached like Little League football or something, not coach, but refereed Little League football or something like that. And the NFL was desperate for guys to bring in who know the game. And, they brought him in. He took like a 90-minute test or whatever, and they just kind of gave him a certification and said, hey, look, you're an NFL ref now. No, don't give me that. No, the Ravens are in too important of a window right now to deal with any extra BS. So no, don't give me that. Definitely super happy that the refs are back. Super happy about that. Again, guys, please be sure to leave a like on this video. Subscribe to the channel as well. If you are new, Balti Raven, one of our members here in the chat, says smash that like button. Exactly. Smash that like button. Appreciate you, Balti Raven. As always. Kenny, I see you in the chat. What up? Good evening. Appreciate you for coming through. All right. So let's get into this last topic here. Wait a minute. Chris still talking. She says Sutton has the hairline like Steve Harvey's hairpiece. It's intact. I just feel a way about being compared to Steve Harvey though. You know what I mean? Like I just like I don't have to be Steve. Is it the glasses? Do I need to take the glasses off? Is that what it is? Like, what is it today? I don't know. Glasses are going back on. I don't know. Anywho, moving on here, chat. So, last thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is something that's very unserious, right? It's nothing crazy, but it is something that I've been kind of thinking about lately. Maxx Crosby is apparently a rapper now.
Yeah. Let me talk to him real quick.
Yeah. Hey, feeling like Playboy Maxx. Riding in the roads, no scat. Double R back to back. Riding in the coupe with the rims on fat. Feeling like Cactus Jack, like trap bad bitch in the back. Snakes in the room, get splat, that's that. That's like 100 mil times two, that's back to back. Feeling like Playboy Maxx. Riding in the roads, no scat. Double R back to back. Riding in the coupe with the rims on fat. Feeling like Cactus Jack, like trap bad bitch in the back. Snakes in the room, get splat, that's that. That's like 100 mil times two, that's back to back. Why they wanna talk about us? Rolls about big as a bus. Snakes in the grass get cut. We move like the mob, that's trust. Cut like Kobe, I'm clutch. I'm puffing on the blondie, no Dutch.
All right. Maximilian Crosby. I can't be mad at it. I'm going to start with that. I can't be mad at it. And the reason why I can't be mad at it is because I can't help but think about what this Ravens locker room would have looked like had Maxx Crosby been in it, been a part of it. I just feel like his personality, his interests, and things like that would have like perfectly aligned with the likes of Lamar Jackson, Zay Flowers, hell, Jacoby Lane, etc. So I'll start with that. When it comes to the music, how do I react to the music? Is it good? This song in particular? Hell no. That shit was trash. That shit was hot garbage. Terrible. He put out a song a couple of weeks ago. I can't remember what it was called, but that song was actually pretty wavy. I liked the first song he put out like a couple of weeks ago. I can't remember what it's called again, but that one was good. But this one, trash. But you want to know what I've noticed about Maxx Crosby and his music making career? There is absolutely zero, and I mean zero, originality in his music. His music sounds literally like every other up and coming wannabe SoundCloud rapper, whatever you want to call it, whatever they call it in 2026. That's what he sounds like. Sounds like everybody else. It's not Maxx Crosby. I mean, it's Maxx Crosby on the screen here. He's in the music videos, it's his voice and things like that, but like it's not his style. He's just basically like making a caricature of where rap is right now, if that makes sense. To all my music heads out there, you know what I'm talking about. But he's just got that same style and cadence and flow, right? And subject matter as all these other kids out here. Nothing is personal about his music. Nothing at all. Nothing. That's where he stole some bars from Gunna. Probably did. I've heard those bars before. Definitely heard the bars before. For sure. For sure. Man. Not impressed. Stick to football, Maxie. Stick to football. It is pretty cringe, too. Very cringe. You guys going crazy in the chat. Smitty, what up? Big Cuz, what up? I see y'all. Mike said I'm a bona fide hater. That's hilarious. Y'all are funny. Y'all are funny. Nah, but this shit is straight trash though. Straight up garbage. 2-pack of ass. Throw it away. Maxx Crosby. I love that he's doing what he, wants to do, but it's like my word of advice would like, bro, just be yourself. Just be yourself. Because this isn't you. This is what you like to listen to. You can tell he's just taking his favorite artists that he likes to listen to and just like mimicking them. You want to know like how I know he's like a new rapper? Is because like I used to rap. Right? Fun fact. Yes, that's right. I used to rap. And when I first started, all I would do was just like try to make music just like my favorite artist that I listen to. And you can tell that whoever he's listening to, it's probably Gunna and, because he definitely does give like Gunna and there's some other guys too. I can't remember off the top of my head. I don't even listen to rap music like that anymore. Not as much as I used to, but you can tell he's definitely inspired by somebody. Afia says, "Word, let us hear something." Sutton got bars, says Q. Yeah, I mean, definitely. I am. Yeah, I used to rap and sing as well. Those of you guys who watch Sutton Reactions have gotten a little taste of that, a little example of my music making abilities from over the years and things like that. Maybe I'll show it someday on PRP, but probably not. I don't know. anyways, yes, I did used to make music, guys. But look, moral of the story is Maxx Crosby, you got to stick to football. Stick to rushing the passer, right? Stick to rushing the passer because this music thing, unless you wake up and smell the coffee that, hey, look, like nobody's ever going to give a damn about my music unless this music is coming from the soul. Like it's actually coming from Maxx Crosby, not coming from, influence from your favorite space trap artist. You know what I mean? So that's that. That's that. But yeah. Sudden raps like Weird Al. Weird Al? Like Weird Al Yankovic? No. Like Weird Al Yankovic is crazy. I like Weird Al Yankovic, by the way. I like him, but no, I definitely didn't rap like him. I only saw the headphone review video. Oh yeah, that was like my first ever YouTube video back when I was like 11 or 12 years old, something like that. Yeah, good times, good times, good times. Again, check that out. Check that out. Check that out on Sudden Reactions. Sudden Reactions will be back soon. I haven't done an episode in a week for that show because, again, I'm trying to work out some kinks with it. There's some things that I want to make better about that before I keep going on with it. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and wrap the stream here, guys. I appreciate each and every one of y'all for coming through. Listen, we will be back on Monday with another main pod, and we do have some special guests. We have some special guests coming on the pod on Monday. I'll let you know. It's our guys from the Charm City Sideline podcast, right? We got our guy Bradley. We got our guy Zach. They're coming and joining me and Alex to chop up all things Ravens on Monday right here on the Purple Rain Podcast YouTube channel. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Make sure if you're not subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button. And if you have not liked the video, guys, listen, if there's any one way that you want to support the channel, please just like the video. It's free, but helps us out so much here at PRP. But listen, guys, thank you all so much for coming through again. My name is Sudden Death. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.